National Broadcasting Company presents Radio City Playhouse, Attraction 11.
Hollywood, California, Monday, June 29th.
Presents the finest in motion picture entertainment, Academy Award.
From Hollywood, Skippy, America's largest selling peanut butter.
Cary Grant, Katharine Hepburn, and Jimmy Stewart.
The Lux Radio Theater welcomes you all.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Drama and Theater, brought to you by Dwayne Old Time Radio. Before we get to today's drama, if you enjoy what I'm doing, let me ask you to subscribe to my channel. Subscribing is 100% free, and you will receive notifications on new posts. Lastly, if you have a moment, write a short 1 or 2 sentence review or give a rating on your preferred podcast service. A positive review or rating would help me out a lot. And now, on to the show. Oh yeah, and thanks for your support. I really do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy. This last week of July, we are going to play the third episode from Columbia Workshop. This drama is titled Cartwheel, and the episode aired August 1st, 1936.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
The Columbia Workshop under the direction of Irving Reis. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight the Columbia Workshop presents the third program of its experimental series dedicated to you and the magic of radio. Tonight the Workshop will present a short radio play which is considered to be one of the finest experimental dramas written for radio, Cartwheel by Vic Knight, and also a short technical demonstration. To students of radio drama, Cartwheel is perhaps the best example of how economy of words and characterization has enabled the author to present a moving, vivid, dramatic idea containing 23 scenes, 34 characters, and covering a time lapse of 50 years in 15 minutes of playing time. To students of dramatic expression, it may be interesting to know that the 34 characters are being played by 9 actors. Before we present Mr. Knight's Cartwheel, we would like to take you behind the scenes for the first demonstration which the Columbia Engineering Department has prepared in conjunction with the workshop. In this demonstration, we shall have the assistance of Miss Francis Fuller, prominent stage actress, who has been featured in such plays as The Front Page, Animal Kingdom, Her Master's Voice, and I Loved You Wednesday. Are you ready, Miss Fuller?
What do I do?
Well, just call on over here. That's it. And by the way, may we introduce you to our radio audience?
How do you do?
Now, Miss Fuller, we're going to let you and the radio audience in on a trade secret. First, we want to have you know, and we don't want you to be prejudiced about this, you Western listeners. Did you know that all of you listening from Chicago West are hearing our programs 1/10 of a second after your cousins in Australia or New Zealand or the South Pole? Yes, they actually hear us before you do, and we're going to prove it in a moment. As you know, radio waves travel at the speed of light, or 186,000 miles per second, which means that the people in the land down under, hearing these programs by short waves, get them practically instantaneously, in spite of the 10,000 miles or more. But before you in the West or Middle West hear us, the programs travel along a few thousand miles of lines and then are broadcast by your station's transmitter. The feeble little electrical impulses, which the greatest programs are reduced to before you hear them as sound, travel a trifle more sluggishly through the lead cable lines than they do when they're finally hurled out on the ether. And as a result, they slow up a bit and delay your hearing them, while in New Zealand, listeners hear the sounds the instant they are created. Oh, yes, you want the proof. All right. Stand by, Master Control. Up in our main control room, the engineers have set up their apparatus, and they're going to electrically transcribe a section of this program as it leaves here, goes to Chicago, and returns over 2,000 miles of lines. Stand by, Miss Fuller.
I'm ready.
When I give you the signal, we'll have a little talk. And then a few seconds after it, we'll let you and the radio audience hear it as it sounded, traveling 2,000 miles. All right, Control, turn them over. Now, Miss Fuller, you're on your own. Anything you say will be transcribed against you.
Oh, my. I won't say anything. You mean I have to hear my own voice?
Sure. Haven't you heard it before?
Yes. In a Hollywood studio projection room when I made my first picture. It frightened me stiff. Luckily, it was dark. I sneaked out very quietly, and it took them 2 days to find me.
Say. Well, that happens to nearly everyone when he hears his own voice for the first time. But a great many theater audiences and producers feel quite the contrary about your voice. Suppose you recite something for us.
Recite?
Sure. You do, and I will, too.
Well, you start.
All right, now let's see. Francis had a pretty voice. Its frequencies were slow. It left New York at 8 p.m., returned at 8:10.
Did you just make that up?
Sure.
Well, I'll have to do the same. Twinkle, twinkle, radio star. There's your voice, and here you are. Now you hear what others do. Oh, there, now, don't feel blue.
Bravo! And now for the finish. I'll count a number, and you follow it after a slight pause. 1,
2,
3,
4.
5. Cut.
Cut? Cut what?
Well, that was a signal to the engineers that we were finished. And now, in just a moment, when the boys get their equipment all lined up, we'll hear all of that over again.
May I go now?
Oh, no. Don't forget, you're in Cartwheel, and we're all waiting to hear that, I can assure you. I'll keep watching the control room, and as soon as Mr. Voorhees gives me the signal, we'll be ready. Are you ready yet? All right, there it is. And now, ladies and gentlemen, listen to voices leaving New York and then coming back over 2,000 miles of wire. Sure. Haven't you heard it before?
Yes. In a Hollywood studio projection room when I made my first picture. It's frightfully stiff. Luckily, it was dark. I sneaked out very quietly, and it took them 2 days to find me.
Well, that happens to nearly everyone who hears his own voice for the first time. But a great many theater audiences and producers feel quite the contrary about your voice. Suppose you recite something for us.
Recite?
Sure. You do, and I will, too.
Well, you start.
All right, now let's see. Francis had a pretty voice. Its frequencies were slow. It left New York at 8 p.m., returned at 8:10.
Did you just make that up?
Sure.
Well, I'll have to do the same. Twinkle, twinkle, radio star. There's your voice, and here you are. Now you hear what others do. Oh, there, now, don't feel blue.
Bravo! And now for the finish. I'll count a number, and you follow it after a slight pause. 1,
2,
3,
4.
5. Cut. There you are. That little echo you heard were the voices returning after having been sent around 2,000 miles of line. And now, ladies and gentlemen, before the stage is set for Cartwheel, we'd like to give you a little demonstration of the progress which has been made in the past few years with the most important unit of all radio equipment, the microphone. It is the heart of all radio broadcasting, and each modification of the microphone has brought with it wider scope and greater entertainment in your radio programs. You know, at one time, the letter S was the bogey of every engineer and performer in radio. Weak hearts trembled at lines like, "She sells seashells on the seashore." A sudden loud sound on the old carbon microphone could blast the station right off the air. Let us show you the contrast between the carbon microphone of 20 years ago and the modern velocity microphone in use today. Mr. Ray Collins, will you help us with this experiment?
Why, certainly.
Ray Collins is well known to you all as a leading player in many Columbia radio dramatic productions. Ray, do you remember Lincoln's Gettysburg Address or Hamlet's soliloquy?
Well, I've played Hamlet.
Good. Suppose you stand here between these two microphones and do the soliloquy for us.
I'll be glad to.
Now, while Mr. Collins does the soliloquy from Shakespeare's immortal Hamlet, Mr. Voorhees, the workshop's engineer, will keep cutting from the carbon mic of 20 years ago to the modern, high-quality, sensitive microphone of today. See if you notice much contrast. Mr. Collins.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against the sea of troubles and by opposing end them, die, sleep no more. And by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks of flesh is heir to, 'tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die chance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the sterns that patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. Ladies and gentlemen, the changes you notice in quality represent 20 years of research and improvement in broadcasting microphones. But quality alone has not been the only objective. As important as quality is flexibility of use for perspective. We're now going to show you the difference in pickup perspective between the dynamic microphone, which was the latest type before the velocity was perfected, and the velocity. Miss Francis, it's your turn to help.
With pleasure, sir.
Thank you.
With pleasure, sir.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Arlene Francis, one of radio's best-known actresses. One of radio's best-known actresses.
How do you do?
Arlene, suppose you do Lincoln's Gettysburg Address for us. Start on this dynamic microphone over here and walk around it in a circle.
All right. 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place of those who here gave their lives, that that nation might live.
You notice that Miss Francis, who was never more than a foot from the microphone, was audible at all times, even when she was directly behind the face of the microphone. The sound waves were being picked up by reflection. This caused much difficulty in pickup. First, because the microphone had only one side into which the performer should work without this reflection effect. And secondly, because of its non-directional pickup, which allowed extraneous sounds access to the microphone from all angles. Now listen to the velocity microphone. You will notice that when Miss Francis, again never more than a foot from the mic, starts reading, she will be very clear, or as we term it, on beam. As she moves off beam in a circle, there is a gradual diminishing of her voice volume and perspective until she will be practically inaudible when she is at right angles to the beam. And finally, when she leaves the dead side of the microphone and approaches the second beam side, she becomes perfectly clear again. All right, Arlene.
77 years ago, our forefathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place of those who here gave their lives, that that nation might live.
Thank you very much, Arlene. In future programs, we will show you some more demonstrations of various perspectives on microphones and their use in radio production. Continuous laboratory research on microphones promises that the next few years will bring many more revolutionary changes, all for the sole purpose of improving the quality and scope of radio entertainment. And now, Cartwheel by Vic Knight.
Let me go! Let me go, I tell you! Give me my cartwheel! It's mine! Cartwheel! Cartwheel! Cartwheel!
You better get a straitjacket, boys, and tuck him up. I'll be back in a moment. Don't leave. Are you his son?
Yes, Doctor, I am. I guess he's lost his mind, hasn't he?
No ordinary case, this. What can you tell me about it? What is this cartwheel he speaks of?
It's a long story, Doctor.
It goes back more than 50 years, when Dad was working in the United States Mint down in Philadelphia. He was just a young fellow, about 7.
There we are, Chief. Cut, flash, and edge roll. As pretty a batch of cartwheels as you ever set eyes on. Listen to it ring. No sound just like a cartwheel ringing, is it, Chief?
Guess not. Get him cleaned up in a hurry, Dempsey. Just got word the president's bringing a party through this afternoon.
What? President Arthur? You mean he's coming here? To the Mint?
That's right. Garfield used to drop in pretty often, but this is Arthur's first visit.
Gee. What? Hey, Chief. Look at this. Look.
What's eating?
What? What's the date on this? Why, Chief, only half of one of the 8s is printed on this coin. Just half of an 8 that looks like a 3. A 1384 silver dollar.
Good God, Dempsey. Don't tell me that whole batch of dollars.
Oh, no, sir, no, sir. Only these last few, only 3 of them, sir.
You like to scare me to death. Let me see. Sure enough. 1384 instead of 1884. Only half of one of the 8s. Well, I'll be...
What do I do, Chief? Toss them back in the bullion? There's only 3 of them.
No, Dempsey, don't do that. If we throw them out, the run will be short. Better just let them pass. Forget it. And don't say anything to anybody. Chances are nobody will ever notice it anyway. Pretty slick. A 1384 cartwheel.
Get closer to the phone. I can't be wrong. There were only 3 of those coins. I know because I went to the Mint personally and talked to a young fellow named Dempsey, the chap who turned them out. Yeah. Here's the point. You know enough about coin collectors to realize what this means to me. What's that? Precisely. Yes. With all 3 of those freak cartwheels, I'd have the finest collection of American coins in existence. You've got to get me the other one. I won't be satisfied until I've found it. Hang the expense. I'd pay $25,000 before I'd see anybody else get that coin.
You always told me, Martha, I'd make a lot of money in the Mint, that I couldn't keep any of it. Gee, I never thought I'd lose my job just because I told that coin collector about that cartwheel. Just think, Martha. Once it was in my hands. I made it and lost it. Oh, but I'll find another job. Maybe before the baby's born. And mark my words, Martha. Someday I'm going to get that cartwheel. Yes, sir, I'm going to get it. It may pass through 1,000,000 hands, but someday I'm going
to... 2 lamp wicks, a gallon of kerosene, and a pound of your best chicory. And say, how about throwing in a piece of liver for the catch, eh?
Mix me up a moxie.
Sweet caprals.
A pound of sugar.
Well, that'll cost you $1, Morton. Might seem like a heap of money for you to pay, but if you send off to that place I told you about for your store teeth, the whole thing won't run more than $5. Well, do you want me to yank out them teeth, or don't you, Morton? Well, sit down then. I'll get my pinchers, and don't be wasting my time, because I got that bay mare and them 3 other horses to shoe yet today, and I ain't hankering to be delayed.
Oh, you kiddo, there's the hokey-pokey wagon. You got money, Archie. Why don't you buy some?
23 skidoo to you. I ain't going to waste my silver dollar that way, Aggie. No, sirree. I'm going to hold on to it. Don't forget, the Floridora Sextette's coming to the casino next Saturday.
While it is true that he impressed me as a very sincere and capable fellow, Dempsey's past record shows that he was discharged from a job at the United States Mint. Period. This indicates questionable character, and I'd rather not have him in our employ.
All right, boys. Come on here. I'm looking at horses, looking at blackjack. 21, the old army game. 1 seat over to blackjack, men. 1 seat open.
Deal me in.
Going again. Blackjack, $1 and up. All right, cards for the gambler.
Get me, Vic
fella. Hit me. Look at horses. Look at blackjack. 21. The old army game.
O Lord, let us be worthy of these thy blessings, and let them be acceptable unto thee. For it is more blessed to give than to receive. Amen.
Now the men they'll know why they say doughboy.
It's no use, Larry. Don't stick with me. I'm a goner. Here, if you make it back, give this medal to Ma, will you? Better take the Sun teams, too. And this cartwheel. I can't buy nothing where I'm going now.
And when you get your pay, son, don't forget. All in silver dollars.
Oh, gee, Dad, you still expect to find that $25,000 cartwheel, don't you?
Sure I do, son. It may pass through 1,000,000 hands, but I'll get it yet. I'll find it. Biggest and most stupendous show along the gay Rialto. The one and only Rudolph Valentino, the perfect screen lover in the chic calamity. Sensational hit of the silver screen. Step right up if you choice.
Do, please.
Yes, I'd still meet the price. It's worth it. But something tells me my coin collection will never be augmented by the third and last of those 1384 cartwheels. Wonder where it is. Maybe it doesn't even exist anymore. Maybe it went down at sea, or perhaps some old granny is hoarding it in her attic chamber. Or maybe, for all we know, right this very minute, it's in the hands of a...
Thief! So that's what I am, huh? A thief, just because I'm taking $1 of filthy money to buy myself a bite to eat. Well, I'm fed up, see? Here's your dollar, stupid. Take a good look at it. It's the last one you'll ever see, you rat.
Cut. That was putrid. Now let's shoot the whole scene over again. And for Pete's sake, Barbara, let's hear that silver dollar hit the looking glass.
It's only $1, Jim. Let's get one.
Oh, but Elsie, we don't need it, I tell you.
But we will need it soon, honey.
I know, but let's wait, Elsie. I never was a plunger.
No, Jim, please. Let's get it now. I want it, Jim.
Oh, but honey,
I've got $1, Jim. This old silver one. I've held on to it for a long time, just for something like this. Please, Jim.
Oh, all right. But I can't see the sense of buying a baby buggy before we've even got a baby.
On the reservations, gather these precious herbs, barks, and bitters. Nature's own ingredients for nature's own panacea. Dr. Witherspoon's Magic Elixir. $1 the bottle.
I'll take one.
Thank you. Now, who else wants it? Dr. Witherspoon's Magic Elixir. Nature's own
Telegram, sir, for Mr. Hemingway. Thanks. It's collect, sir, $1.
Oh, I see. Well, who sent it?
No signature, sir.
Well, come. I can't pay for something unless I know where it's from. After all, I'm not
It's from Nevada, sir. Reno, Nevada.
Reno? Nevada? Here's the dollar.
Oh, but this is only $50, sir. Oh, I beg your pardon. I see. It's a cartwheel. Thank you, sir.
That's all right. Have changed my mind. Stop. taking morning plane home. Ruth. Nuts.
Acting pretty strange, Ma, since he went to that fortune teller.
Cartwheel. That's all he ever thinks about. That Cartwheel. Wasting his time. 'Cause you know he'll never see it again.
Come on, Dutton, divvy it up. What's the haul?
Oh, 3 or 4 C-notes, I guess, counting all this chicken feed. Gee, I didn't even leave that cashier enough jack to keep a lady bugging hair nets.
Nice going.
Say, Spike, look at this. Holy smoke. A cartwheel. Must be sort of an antique, too. Look at the dates. Hey, 1384. Gee, that must be way back in Buffalo Bill's time.
Give me it, you dumb cluck. Sure. Just as I thought.
What's the matter?
It's a phony.
No.
Why, you ignorant mug. How could there be a United States dollar in 1384 when Columbus didn't even find the place till 1776? Ain't you never read your civics?
Well, I ain't ever had much schooling.
Yeah. Here goes this phony cartwheel into the spittoon.
Come on down, Snake Eyes, a little Peavy hiding the canebrake. How? Talk, school dice talk. No shit out loud. How? Seven gun curve you out loud. Come on, boys. Shoot the work. Now, who's going fade me? Not me. Come on, son. Who's going fade me? What's the matter? Is that all the cash money they can get them? You know there's no more money? No. Sure now? All right, sir. Then I rolls and here it comes. Watch it. Ha! 7 School days, you done it. The rucker stamp completed and High Pocket said all reservoir, gentlemen.
High Pocket?
Yeah?
High Pocket, man, you's rich. Why, you must make yourself $300 or $400.
Here, son. Take yourself this here cartwheel and go on get yourself a bottle of gin or something else that you crave.
No, High Pocket, don't give me that cartwheel.
What's the matter?
Oh, give me instead a dollar bill. This here cartwheel's your lucky pocket piece. Your voodoo charm that you done stop with before you win yourself all that money.
Oh, hush your mouth, boy, and make tracks. Formidable. High Pockets can't be bothered with money that jingles, only the kind that ruffles. No, go on, get your gin now and let me be. I sashay in for the black lights. Get going now, and look here, son. Don't spend your cartwheel only.
Say, would you give a buddy a dime for a cup of coffee?
Cup of coffee?
Yes, sir.
A dime for a cup of coffee?
Hey.
But why should you charge me a dime when I know where I can get it for a nickel? It's outrageous.
You don't get me, pal. I'm hungry. Awful hungry. I ain't seen food for 3 days.
You still recognize it. Same old stuff. Same old stuff. Here, you take your $silver. Get 10 cups of coffee. Get 20 cups. Get going.
Gee, thanks, buddy. Sucker. That's $18 so far tonight, and the evening's young.
Shall I give him another hypo, Doctor?
No, I think not. In his condition, I hardly believe he feels any pain.
He cried out all through the night, Doctor. Mumbled something hardly intelligible, except for an occasional mention of a cartwheel and 1,000,000 hands.
Yes, I know. His son explained that to me last night. Just stay with him, Miss Maxwell. He doesn't have much farther to go.
just wanted to thank you, Mr. Allison, for your sympathetic handling of Father's funeral.
Oh, not at all, Mr. Dempsey.
I brought the insurance check with me to settle the bill.
Oh, yes.
Mother has endorsed it. $200. That's just about right, isn't it?
Yes, the amount is slightly less, I believe, Dempsey. Yes, just $199, including the extra limousine. You've got $1 change coming, Dempsey. Do you mind taking this cartwheel?
You have listened to Cartwheel by Vic Knight. It was the third presentation of the Columbia Workshop. Let us know how you like tonight's demonstrations and dramatic presentations. Tune in again next week at this same time for another program by the Columbia Workshop. The Columbia Workshop's presentation was produced by Irving Reis. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed. As always, you can listen to my podcast on all podcast services. You can also go to my website, otr.duane.media, to listen to all of my podcasts. There's donation information, patron information, and more all on the website. The website is slowly improving. Thank you for your patience. It takes a while to update and add information to the website, but it's getting there. You can also find me on Instagram, Duane.otr. You can also email me if you want, info@otr.duane.media. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time, stay safe, wish you well, and as always, peace.